What I'm about to say has the potential to revolutionize your perspective on women, so pay close attention. She probably has you on her mind right now. However, she will always deny it. She will not initiate a text message. She will keep it under wraps. And if you were to question her outright, she would likely brush it off or shift the conversation. Here, though, is where the vast majority of guys flounder. Returning to my channel, Magnetic Desire, I want to greet everyone. Hello, my name is Jessica, and I am here today to talk about there's one specific behavior that 99% of guys absolutely misinterpret. What they perceive as a sign of her disinterest is actually one of the most compelling evidence that she is thinking about you all the time. And in a moment, I'm going to tell exactly what that indicator is. But first, you need to comprehend something that will change all you thought you knew about female psychology. Women don't demonstrate they miss you the same way males do. They hide it. They disguise it. They wrap it in actions so subtle and so paradoxical that most men mistake her missing him for her rejecting him. And here's the hazardous part. If you mistake these signals, you'll withdraw away at the very moment she's starting to pull closer. You'll presume she doesn't care, and you'll go away precisely when she's beginning to fall for you. Then, months later, you'll look back and wonder if she really cared at all. Today, I'm going to break down the psychological cues that tell whether a woman is genuinely missing you, even when she says she's not, even when she's playing it cool, even when her words imply one thing. But her behavior says something quite different. And before we end, I'll also show you one easy motion that makes her confess everything. It's powerful. And honestly, it should probably come with a warning, because once you comprehend it, you'll never see mixed signals the same way again. By the conclusion of this, you'll know exactly how to read between the lines so you stop wondering whether she genuinely cares or if you're wasting your time. So let's start with the genuine question. Why would she hide it in the first place? Picture this. She checks her phone and finds your name. Instantly, she feels that little pull, the spark of excitement, the want to reply right away. But she doesn't. She waits. She overthinks it. She tries to play it down. Now, here's what most folks never tell you. This isn't simply about playing hard to get. Something deeper is happening in her head. Because showing you that she misses you seems vulnerable. It feels like giving up power. It feels like providing you the emotional advantage. And women are naturally wired to measure emotional strength before they totally invest. But here's where things get interesting. When a lady starts developing actual affections for you, she typically doesn't act more interested. She acts less interested. That sounds backwards, but there's a psychological explanation for it. Her mind is running a test. If I pull back, will he chase like every other desperate guy? Or will he be calm, confident, and secure in himself? Most males flunk this exam instantly. They assume her remoteness indicates rejection, so they chase harder. Or they disappear totally. Both reactions transmit the same message, that you're reacting emotionally instead of keeping grounded. But if you grasp what's actually happening, everything changes. And that gets us to the behavior that most guys completely misread. The sign that she might genuinely be thinking about you more than you realize. She becomes inconsistent. Yes, inconsistent. One day she's warm, interested, reacting swiftly. The next day, she's distant, slower to respond, maybe even a bit chilly. One moment, she's laughing at everything you say. The next moment, she seems disconnected. Most men observe this and think it indicates she's losing interest. But here's what's truly happening. It's internal strife. When emotions start really real, it can startle her. So she draws back to protect herself. Then she starts missing you again. And she moves closer. Then the sensations get stronger, and she draws back again. It's not a game. It's a psychological tug-of-war happening inside her mind. And here's the important insight most men overlook. True disinterest is consistent. When someone actually doesn't care, their behavior stays consistent and remote. But when someone is thinking about you a lot, their emotions change. That's why inconsistency might sometimes suggest you're actually on her mind more than you realize. But there are also a few subtle indicators that suggest she's missing you. Signs so minor that most men overlook them totally. For example, she monitors your social media stories but never likes or comments. She's there every time, quietly observing. That's her method of staying connected without exposing too much. Another indicator is when she reaches out with something random, a meme, a question about something from weeks ago, or a link that reminded her of you. It looks pointless on the surface, but the underlying explanation is straightforward. She sought a reason to talk to you. Sometimes she'll even bring you up to mutual friends, asking casually how you're doing. Talking about you enables her feel that connection without the vulnerability of approaching you directly. And when you're together, her body language typically tells more than her words. She faces you fully while you speak. She mirrors your moves without realizing it. She plays with her hair or jewels. These are unconscious cues her brain sends when someone matters emotionally. But one of the biggest signs is something extremely basic. She remembers details, things you discussed weeks ago, small preferences you shared, stories you scarcely remember telling her. When someone misses you, they replay discussions in their head, and those little details creep out later without them even realizing it. But recognizing these signs is just half the picture. Because the true question is, what should you actually do with this information? Most males make the same error. They notice the signs and promptly rush in. They start texting more, bringing up feelings, trying to define the relationship. And the moment they do that, the energy changes. The walls go back up. Instead, the most potent approach is shockingly simple. When her attention starts increasing, you establish a little space. Not dramatically, not immaturely, just slightly. You stay occupied with your life. You terminate talks first occasionally. You take a little longer to reply. And something interesting happens. Her mind starts filling in the gaps. She begins thinking whether she misjudged the situation, if you're losing interest, if someone else might be in your life. And that uncertainty often leads her to explain how she genuinely feels. But there's one reality that counts more than any plan. None of this works unless you're actually okay with walking away. The moment you need her attention, the power goes. But when you develop a life that feels meaningful and interesting on its own, you become the kind of man people don't forget. Confidence like that is magnetic. So yeah, learn the signs, understand the psychology, but never overlook the most crucial question. It's not only if she misses you, it's if you're the kind of man worth missing. Because when you become that man, you don't have to chase attention anymore, and that's when everything changes. If this opened your eyes, write a comment with the word "thank you" so I know you're paying attention. And subscribe. Because the next video will disclose 3 text messages that make her start chasing you.